Good afternoon, everyone. I am Nirali Waghela. Today, I am going to present power and culture, how power shapes knowledge and society. This is my academic information. Research question: how does power influence the production, validation, and dissemination of knowledge within different culture and historical contexts? Hypothesis: power and knowledge are mutually constitutive force. Dominant cultural shape what counts as a legitimate knowledge to sustain existing hierarchies, while emerging knowledge systems such as indigenous epistemologies and digital networks challenge and redistribute this power relation by pluralizing truth and authority. So this is table of contents introduction. So Foucault say that power is everyone and it affects education, society, culture, and all those things. Then understanding power and cultural. In Foucault's view, power is not only top down but spread through all social relation, culture and body. Power shape individual and their identity, often through cultural norm. So, in our everyday life, in our education, family, in all those kind of things, power play a vital role. Then, culture as a commodity. Culture is modern society becomes something to own and display or status. Cultural objects like art, literature turn into social currency used to show superiority. Thus, culture lost its authentic value. So nowadays, cultural becoming kind of a thing that all people are showing off. Then, the cultural reproduction of power. Power continue through symbol, ideology, and culture, not only money or force. When cultural belief in authority weaken, even powerful leader can fall. Example, leader like Saucer lost power when people stopped believing in their cultural legitimacy. So power is not stable; it's change it's change with time. Like if someone right now is powerful, and after some time they become powerless. Then what is a knowledge society? A knowledge society use knowledge to protest and participate. It differs from information society, which just curriculate data for limited groups. The goal is inclusive development through knowledge start by all. So knowledge society is kind of think that power knowledge is for everyone and every group and people have a right to have a knowledge. Then the paradox of knowledge society. Knowledge is no longer monopolized by expert, it's now social. The paradox, more knowledge doesn't always mean more power. It can weaken control since everyone can question authority. So, if someone is knowledgeable, it doesn't mean they have more power because in contemporary time, all are knowledgeable by internet. So, right now, all have a authorities to control the authorities. Western knowledge, a monolithic view. Western colonial power defined their knowledge as a universal, rejecting other as a primitive. This made Europe the center of a truth and a power. It argued we must look at who produce knowledge and why certain voices are silenced. So Western people think that their knowledge is universal, while other people's knowledge is primitive because their language is global. So they think that they are more powerful and knowledgeable than other people. Then defining indigenous knowledge. Indigenous knowledge is traditional experiment and rooted in local culture. It connects human to nature and community. European dismiss it as inferior, but it actually offers sustainable and context-based wisdom. So, indigenous knowledge is like we have to experience everything. Some things are we can't understand with reading or watching. So experience is more primitive and more needable in the indigenous knowledge. The academic and social struggle. The rise of feminism, multiculturalism, and diverse student body have challenged traditional Eurocentric male-dominant academic system. Those changes represent a struggle for representation and quality in knowledge creation. So in India, we know that in old time, not all people have a right to education. Only some of higher level caste have a right, and lower level people don't have right for education. So we see discrimination in education in the older time, and in contemporary time, everyone have a right for education. Knowledge as a tool for dominance. When knowledge is used by dominant group like colonizer, it becomes a weapon of a control. The idea of a universal truth hides political motives. It justifies oppression by claiming neutrality or objectivity. So when some country have more power, they try to dominate other country, because so knowledge become weapon for them, and they try to dominate other people by knowledge. The centrality of non-knowledge. Modern society now realize how much they don't know, especially about unpredictable issue like climate change. Non-knowledge or ignorance is not a failure; it's a part of the knowledge process, revealing uncertainty and complexity. So it's mean half knowledge is problem, but if someone don't have knowledge, they can still learn it. Cultural and conflict, the helping discourse. Even even uh, even opposing political group, liberal versus conservative, often share similar cultural language, like the idea of a helping. Understanding this shared discourse can create unity and dialogue in diverse society. Then society, individualism, and escape. Aaron's note that earlier individual could escape social control like a rebel or outcast. In modern mass society, there is no escape. As well, individuals are observed into the social system, leading to despair and conformity. So, earlier, as we know that education is not for all people, so some can say that they are not knowledgeable because they don't have a right of education. But in contemporary time, everyone have a internet, and all can get knowledge from internet. And there is no escape right now to say that there is no knowledge. The dominance of the static view. In India, politically maturity become tied to the state-centric model, a colonial inheritance. Both labeled as a Marxist ideology continue this after independence. The result, India equates progress with state power, not a cultural diversity. So, India's knowledge is known by how their government is knowledgeable rather than how their culture, tradition, and all those diversity. Conclusion: the concludes that power and knowledge are deeply interconnected. Dominant culture define what counts as a truth, shaping society's understanding. Recognized diverse epistemologies challenge this dominance, promoting intellectual equality, cultural inclusive, and a more democratic production of knowledge in a global society. This is a reference. Thank you. Any question?
So, Nirali, my question is, can open access knowledge truly eliminate power hierarchy in the digital age?
Open access knowledge can give us access to the education and resource, but it cannot eliminate power of power hierarchy in digital age, because it's still is, wealthy country and a powerful institution have a more data and access of all those things. So they are in control of this. So they cannot eliminate power hierarchies. It also make inequalities.
Finally, my question, what challenge do indigenous and a local knowledge system face in global academia?
Indigenous and local knowledge system face problem like lack of recognition and language barrier and dominance of western idea and ideologies. So, because their language, they all don't know their language, and only the native people know their language. So western country thought that they are less scientific knowledge, and it make big challenge for them. Thank you. This is from my side.